On this February 28th, and we have got Michelle in right now from the Lemke Funeral Home. And Michelle, you're here all by yourself. They let you out by yourself.
Yeah, I had to leave the office to come. Everybody is sick this week, so I'm excited to be here. I think this is my fourth year. It's my fifth year with the funeral home, but it's always an honor to be here. So you get just me today.
Well, you're going to do a fine job. Now, Jordan recently had a baby.
She did.
How's she doing?
She's doing well. She's on maternity leave. We're happy for her. She had a little boy. Very excited. His name is Brennan. I hope I'm allowed to say that. I think it's the cutest name ever. And we can't wait for her to come back. She'll probably be gone for about 6 to 8 weeks. So,
okay, and then
yeah.
once you get her back, she'll get licensed, and that'll be a great addition to your funeral home.
Yeah, exactly. She helps everybody right now. She assists me in the office, and she helps a lot with Springdale Cemetery as well, getting ready for services, answering the phones, but she also assists my dad, who is our funeral director. So when she takes her state boards this year, she'll be able to do even more to help him.
Oh, that'll be great, because I know he would appreciate that.
Yes, he would.
Does she jump on a tractor then, too, or no?
She will. Well, she'll jump on a mower.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Office staff update. Let's get that.
So we have Tina, who isn't here today. Like I said, she's sick. She actually has pneumonia and influenza A all together at the same time, or she would be here. So she's dealing with that, and, you know, we're hoping she's going to feel better real soon, but I say hurry back. You know, she doesn't always talk a lot about herself, but she's been in the business for over 20 years, you know, selling pre-needs as well. And we're blessed to have her and to learn from her. She has a lot of experience, and she kind of directs all of us on our daily tasks.
Yeah, I would imagine. Hope she gets back soon.
Yes.
And that doesn't sound like it's a lot of fun right now.
No, and, you know, I want her to get better, so all the time that she needs, and I'll hold down the fort until then, but it definitely runs a lot smoother when she's there.
Okay, talk about more about your office staff, or is that it?
Well, there's me.
Okay,
So
all right.
I'm
Well, let's talk
Michelle.
about your duties
Yep,
there.
Michelle Goddard. I'm kind of our jack of all trades, so to say. I take most of the phone calls. If someone comes in to ask general questions, I'm usually the first face that you see. If you're trying to locate a loved one that's in our cemetery maybe, and you just haven't been there in a while, or, you know, the trees are a lot different. We lost some in the derecho, so maybe you know where you're going, but it looks a little bit different out there. I can help you locate your loved ones. When you come in and want to buy a cemetery space, I can assist with that, try to look at the area that you want, and then I'm responsible for getting that percentage into the perpetual care trust that we keep for the cemeteries. I manage the office, which, you know, there's a lot that just goes into that, making sure we have all of our supplies, reordering merchandise, and things like that. I coordinate with the other funeral homes in the area when they have burials, so that includes, you know, going out to mark the grave, checking all of the records, which, depending on which cemetery, it may take a little bit more time. I do help with pre-needs and marker sales, and I also help with trimming too.
Oh, you get to do that as well.
Yeah, I think I'll do more of that this year. I'd like to anyway. If it's anything like last year where we have all the rain, I'd like to be able to do a little bit of everything. So if we have a little bit of a slower week in the office, it's really nice to like redirect what I'm going to do that week, so I can always jump outside and help my dad too.
Plus, you get to go outside.
Yes, it's very nice to have a little break and listen to music or listen to an audiobook and just trim. So.
Okay. Now, I would imagine that first part you were talking about, locating where the markers are. I could imagine that'd be quite a task.
It can be. The more that you do it, the easier that it gets. I know when I'm out at Clinton Lawn, I know a lot of those sections like the back of my hand. I know that, you know, a grave is 40 inches, so if a marker is centered, you know how to work out that. If someone doesn't have a marker, it can get a little bit trickier because you have to measure that out. But it's really an honor. The more time that I spend there, the more I get to know the cemetery. cemetery, it just becomes like an extension of yourself. So you know exactly where you're at and where you're going, and to be able to assist someone in going to visit their loved one is a great feeling too.
Yeah, and I would imagine Springdale can be a bit of a task.
Springdale is a little different. It's a beautiful cemetery.
Yeah.
It's a very large cemetery, and at Clinton Lawn, we're lucky because everything is laid out in a row. At Springdale, everything is kind of all over the place depending on the section. So it's an honor to learn more about Springdale, but it's definitely a lot more in depth. But with Jordan being gone, I've been learning a lot more about Springdale the last couple weeks.
Do you have an actual, like, map of where all these things are?
There are many maps, but they are very old maps. So we have to go up there with, a magnifying glass and look at the measurements and kind of measure out where we're going.
Yeah, are they on old, like, parchment or paper?
They are. Yeah,
Oh.
they're really cool to look through. You got to be careful with them.
I would think, yes.
But it's so cool to just know that the cemetery that you have is such an old, revered cemetery, and to keep up with the records and to see the old records, it's just it's an honor to help with that.
In Clinton Lawn Cemetery, I know when I drive in at night, you can see all the lights.
Yes.
That is amazing.
It's beautiful. I stay late as needed sometimes, and I love driving that way through the cemetery and seeing all the solar lights. It's definitely a really unique thing.
And they're becoming so popular.
They are, and they're beautiful. They make, butterflies, they make crosses, anything unique to your loved one you can really get now. So it's cool to see.
Again, visiting with Michelle, Lemke Funeral Home. Let's talk a little bit about pre-need. So let's talk about the importance of it.
Yeah, pre-needing is very important. I did not realize the importance of it before I started working for my dad and Tina, but every family has unique needs. We personalize your services tailored to those needs, and there are many options available. We're in a unique position because we have 2 funeral homes and 2 cemeteries, so when you come to us, we can kind of take you from the start to the finish all in one place. Our goal is to educate people on their choices, though, so they can make the most informed decision for themselves.
Continue on.
So pre-planning your funeral takes immense pressure off your family. Sitting down with Tina or I will walk you through the steps, and that little bit of time now really eliminates the pressure of a family member trying to, plan your funeral while they're grieving your loss. Pre-planning provides you with the peace of mind that your wishes will be carried out in the manner you choose, and then in a dignified and professional manner. And the other thing that some people may not think about is, everyone's thinking about the almighty dollar. Everything from eggs to milk to beef has been going up, and funeral services and merchandise is no different. Pre-planning your funeral services eliminates the financial burden on your family with prepayment or payments towards your funeral services, and we do that either in a certificate at a bank or in a life insurance policy with a state licensed insurance company. So that's how you can make sure that your services are guaranteed.
So when someone does come in and they're trying to set up a pre-need, you say you assist somewhat, but is that basically Tina's thing?
No, actually, I received my Iowa producer's license 2 years ago. It took me a little time to get with doing that between, being a mom and working full-time at the funeral home, but I do have my license now, so I do a lot of that. Tina assists me, and I kind of help her, so we'll bounce back and forth between the two of us, but I do a lot of the pre-need now, and I assist in the funeral services. Okay. So when you come in, I can help from start to finish.
I didn't realize you had to be licensed for something like that.
You do have to be licensed. We're regulated by the insurance division of the state of Iowa, so it's all, very regulated. There are a lot of rules, and we will put your prepayment in full, or you can make payments, which is easier for a lot of people, into an insurance policy. And what I like about that is if you're current on those payments, if you want a traditional funeral and you've made those payments and you pass away before it's paid in full, you're still going to be able to have that guarantee of having that service that you want, even though, you may not have paid it in full.
Oh, that is a nice.
Yeah.
And then So is there a test involved? Do you have to take a test at the end of this, Michelle?
There is. I got licensed just for health, or just for life, I mean. So it wasn't as in-depth as maybe those who go for property casualty and health. But for me, it took a little while to get to because I'm so involved at the funeral home on the day-to-day. And then I have my daughter, Aurora. But you take a test, and then you get your license, and you have to keep up with your continuing education credits as well. Because things may change a little bit. It's good to stay up to date on all the laws and regulations, and it's always good to just have a refresher too.
There's a lot of that you can go online and take a look at it.
Yeah, things are pretty easy that way now. You can sign up and do a lot of that education online.
All right. Coming up, a break of the weather here on our Ladies' Day with Michelle of Lemke Funeral Home.
Maggie's House Assisted Living, located at 107 East 2nd Street in DeWitt, features 1 and 2 bedroom apartments with all the comforts of home. What is important to you and your loved one is important to us. 24-hour care, safety, compassion, privacy, a place to laugh, fun things to do, friends, daily activities, and a sense of belonging. For information, call Joelle O'Connell at 563-659-1678. Move to Maggie's house where your friends are and make our house your home.
It's time now on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Midas.
A weather impact alert is in place for your Friday, especially as we get into the afternoon, where we're expecting strong winds, gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Mostly sunny skies will push temperatures into the low 60s this afternoon. Those temperatures will drop into the mid-20s tonight as gusty winds continue. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Currently, we have sunny skies and a temperature of 54 degrees. Winds are out of the west at 20 miles per hour. This weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Midas.
The locally owned and operated Clinton Midas, proud to have served you for 48 years. And they ask, are the potholes getting the best of you and your vehicle? Don't fret. The Clinton Midas to the rescue with alignment and suspension repair. Also be sure to see the Clinton Midas for tires, batteries, brakes, and general maintenance on your vehicle. Come to the Clinton Midas, 1432 Lincoln Way. You can trust the Clinton Midas with the golden guarantee.
To everyone who appreciates a fresh meal that comes from the heart, let our team member Emma tell you what's special about the Culver's Way.
We take great tasting burgers seriously in Wisconsin. Favorite recipes, fresh ingredients, real Wisconsin cheese. It's a place where traditions matter. So of course it's where Culver's Butter Burger was born. Fresh, never frozen beef with a lightly buttered toasted bun.
What can we say? To us, it's a whole lot more than a burger. From Wisconsin with love. Welcome to Delicious.
Come to Culver's on the west side of Clinton.
On Ladies' Day, we're visiting now with Michelle. She's here for the Lemke Funeral Home. We're getting into markers and memorials, and I was asking you, Clinton Lawn Memorial Cemetery, you see no monuments.
Correct.
And there is a reason for that.
Yeah, before I worked there, I didn't know that either, so that's a really good question. There are cemeteries, and then there are memorial parks. And, at memorial parks, they all have flat stones. It's supposed to be more of like a park setting, where as you're walking, you see all the scenery and maybe the flowers and the decorations, but you don't see the headstones. As, like Springdale is a cemetery, so they have flat stones and the uprights.
And I would imagine it makes it a lot easier for when you're doing trimming and different things like that.
It does. It does make it a lot easier with the upkeep at Clinton Lawn with the flat stones, but we, still do what we can at Springdale. It just takes us a little more time to move around the stones.
Let's talk a little bit about markers and memorials, something that you do offer at Lemke Funeral Home.
Yes, we also sell markers out there. We do pre-need markers, so sometimes a family member may own a space out at Clinton Lawn and would like to, order their memorial and get that out of the way, because those costs do go up every year too. Or if your loved one has passed and you need a memorial, we're honored to help you with that as well. And we sell granite markers and bronze headstones, and we can do all of that at our office.
So where do these come from?
The granite comes from quarries in Utah, and so does the bronze. It comes from a foundry there. And then the granite headstones come from Clinton. It's the bases that come from the quarries.
And when people come in, to select the markers or the memorials, do you have like a booklet you can show them?
We do. It can seem like an intimidating process, and when you don't know where to start when you've lost a loved one, or even if you're trying to design something for yourself, you may not know what you want. So when you come in, we kind of walk you through your options of different colors, different materials, and once you decide which one kind of speaks more to your situation, we have books for each. We can go through designs, and a lot of times if we don't have something that someone may want, we can try to accommodate that as well. We want to do everything we can to make that memorial what you'd like it to be for your loved one.
I would think so, and with the monuments, when we're talking now Springdale Cemetery, because they do have the monuments. I would imagine people, they put like maybe flowers or something like that, and they can look at that.
Yeah. You can think of something that reminds you of your loved ones. Sometimes that's flowers. Sometimes it's a favorite sports team. A quote or something that they really loved. So there's a lot that you can do with it, and we want to make sure that it's right. So that's one thing I enjoy doing.
Okay. Is this something also part of like the pre-need, when you're in there for pre-need, that you can do the markers and memorials about the same time?
You can. We try to do everything together if that's what someone would like, because it's easier to do as much as you can at that time that you're thinking about it, so it's out of your mind and you're at peace that it's been completed. We can put aside money as a cash advance on your pre-plan if you're not sure what you'd like for your memorial yet and you'd rather your family have that option of ordering one for you. And cash advances are, going back to pre-need just a little bit, are like costs that we cannot guarantee. So we'll put cash aside for you in advance for those costs, like obituaries and certificates, flowers, or memorials. Since we don't make the memorials, we do sell them.
So much to know and do.
Yeah, it's a lot more than you think.
Yeah, I would think so, and you probably realized that once you came on board.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was getting into when my dad and Tina said they needed some help, but every day I'm so glad that I said, yes, I'll jump in, because you learn more things every day, and it's the greatest honor to help someone through, a terrible time, and to hear that maybe you made that just a little bit smoother for them.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. Well, we got to play this song because it's a tradition on Men's Day and Ladies' Day for the Lemke Funeral Home. We're talking about Norman Greenbaum and Spirit in this little live stream here today, and you do the same thing.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in that. It's something we started doing around the time of COVID, and that's about when I started at the funeral home. So being able to do that and kind of figure out how we were going to do live streaming, get that for free to everybody, was a little bit of a learning curve, but now we've got it all ironed out, and we're able to offer that to our families for free. So sometimes there may be family from out of state that, just cannot get back, whether it's the timing or work or other factors, and to know that you'll be able to watch your loved one's service still when you can't be there in person is a real comfort to a lot of people.
I would think so. That is great. So spring's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yes.
And we're going to have our spring cleanup. Historically, it is on March 15th, the week of March 15th, but this year that falls on a Saturday. So depending on what the weather does, we're looking at Monday, the 17th, as the first day of the cleanup. We always say give us 5 days to, complete the cleanup. So prior to Monday, the 17th, collect your decorations that you'd like to keep, and then the following weekend, take them back out. We'll probably do Springdale around the same time. It just takes a little bit longer to do Springdale, so you can always call us and ask, where we're at in that process too. And we do own and manage Springdale Cemetery, so if anyone needs anything about Springdale, they can always call us too.
Okay, and Memorial Day will be here?
Yeah, that'll be right around the corner too, and we do offer flags at the South Funeral Home for free. So if anyone needs a flag for their veteran, they can come into the office and we can give them a flag.
All right, you have done a tremendous job today.
Well, thank you. So have you.
Well, you're by yourself. So if people want to get more information about the Lemke Funeral Home or get in touch with you, how can they best do that, Michelle?
They can call us at our South office. It's 563-242-0853, and me and Tina would be honored to sit down and talk to anyone about their pre-planning wishes.
Okay, that phone number one more time?
563-242-0853.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
And this might be one of those moments with the Kansas City